Hi guys, Craig here. Sorry for the wait. I'm just waiting for more people to come online and then I'll get started. And just getting my presentation ready. I won't be long and I'll be with you momentarily. So please do me a favor and start inviting your friends and family by tagging them in the comment section. So this Facebook Live is currently being broadcast on so it's being currently broadcast on my Bitcoin page, which is facebook.com/best bitcoins. Best bitcoins. Facebook.com bitcoins. So today's webinar is entitled "The Herd is Coming." Okay, but before I get into the presentation, I just prepared a couple of slides, just put a couple of slides together to show you what's about to happen and why you should get ready and definitely start preparing yourself and positioning yourself, whether you are in Bitcoin yet already or not in the crypto space or contemplating it. Definitely pay attention to what I'm going to say to you guys today. All right. So again, welcome everybody that's on this webinar. The guys that are on the webinar and the guys that are on the Facebook Live. If you're on the Facebook Live, you can tag your friends and family. Just want to make sure that everything is coming through here. Please also just let me know if this is the live that you're watching or a rerun. If you're watching the live, you can type live. You can also post your questions in the comment section. So if you're watching the live, you can type live, or if you're watching the rerun, type rerun. Or type 2. Okay. So, guys, sorry about that. Once just trying to. Apologies for that. So again, if you have questions, you can post them in the comment section. If you're on the Facebook Live, if you're on the webinar, there's a section in the chat. There's a chat section, should be on your right-hand side of the webinar window, where you can post your questions. So welcome everybody, and thank you for watching the broadcast today. So the reason why I decided to do this this broadcast today is I received some important information yesterday, which I think is critical to where we are in the crypto space, and just to alert everybody of what's going on. Because unfortunately, a lot of people's source of information is the mainstream media. So let me just say something about that. First of all, you know, the mainstream media should not be your source for anything, to be quite honest with you. It's such a corrupt space right now. Journalists are restricted. There are good journalists out there, and of course there are bad journalists, but the thing is, they work for companies that are funded by very corrupt organizations. Okay. Let's just be clear about something. Media companies, newspapers, newsrooms on TV are not funded by me and you buying the newspaper. Those days are long gone. All right, they don't make any money from that. They are funded by big organizations that push their agendas. All right, and of course, the agendas are not always in our favor. So whether it's cryptocurrency, whether it's stock markets, whatever it is, you should definitely not be getting any type of financial, or not be using the mainstream media as your source of any advice with regard to your finances and your decisions. All right, and especially not your doctor, dentist, your neighbor, or your cousin, brother. All right, these are not people. These are not sources of information you should be using to make financial decisions, especially when it comes to cryptocurrency. So, having said that, I found this article really interesting. It was posted 3 days ago. Google searches Bitcoin spike amid economic uncertainty. I'm just going to read a few lines from here and just talk about this, and then I'll move on to the slides. Economic uncertainty appears to have spurred a significant spike in the number of South African citizens engaging with Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, as of this writing, South African Google searches for Bitcoin currently comprising the highest in proportion to country among the top 66 countries by traffic. Wow, that's an incredible statement. Let me just read that again. South African Google searches for Bitcoin currently comprising the highest in proportion to country among the top 66 countries by search traffic. That is very, very interesting, right? And a very consoling as well and exciting to know that South Africans are, one of the countries that are leading the pack, leading the way in terms of Bitcoin adoption, and even looking at it as for a state in economic uncertainty, which is key, right? This is what cryptocurrency basically is one of the main purposes when is for unstable fiat currencies, unstable, people are scared of the future, what's in store for them, and they are looking for safe havens, they are looking for ways to protect themselves. And it's extremely exciting to hear that people are actually realizing how important Bitcoin is when there is not only political unrest and economic uncertainty, but as a safe haven for them and to protect themselves, protect their wealth. The popularity of Bitcoin appears to be continuing to grow in South Africa despite the recent declining performance of the leading cryptocurrency. So despite the fact that seemingly Bitcoin price is decreasing, people are still running to it, okay, still rushing to it. As of this writing, South African Google searches are the highest in proportion to the size of searches generated by high search volume nations, with the average number of monthly South African searches for Bitcoin over the last 12 months currently estimated at between 100,000 and 1 million. My goodness. South African peer-to-peer Bitcoin trade volume also appears to be rising, with the weekly rand value of local Bitcoins trading exceeding 20 million rand. That's equivalent to $1.7 million for the first time since January this past week. Wow. So in this past week, trade volume on local Bitcoins, which is a peer-to-peer trading site, exceeding 20 million rand. That is incredible. And that's despite the fact that the Bitcoin price has been declining. And why is that? Let me tell you why. Because now is the time to purchase. This is not the time to be selling your Bitcoin. This is not the time to be, listening to your dentist or your doctor that's telling you not to invest in crypto. This is the time to be buying Bitcoin, because that is what this webinar on this Facebook is alive. I've entitled this webinar and my the slides that I put together, I've entitled it "The Herd is Coming," and I'll explain to you shortly what that means. Let me just finish up this article. Matty Greenspan, a market analyst for major social trading and asset brokerage eToro, recently attested to the platform experiencing a significant surge in the number of South African Bitcoin traders, stating that in South Africa, the number of new users trading Bitcoin through eToro rose by 671% from January to the end of November last year over the same period in 2016, more than the 574% overall growth. Guys, I hope you're paying attention to these numbers. Okay? It's incredible. Rising South African Bitcoin investment attributed to fears of looming economic disruption. Many analysts are attributing the growing South African interest in cryptocurrencies to perceptions that President Cyril Ramaphosa's radical land reforms may comprise a catalyst for economic instability. President Ramaphosa's recent acceleration of his policy of forcefully redistributing white-owned property to Black citizens who do not possess farmland has prompted concerns from leading international rating agency Moody's. Just check one thing here quickly, guys. Okay. Despite the concerns, many are expecting that South Africa may be able to narrowly avoid receiving a fourth credit rating downgrade in less than a calendar year due to a reduction in the cost of insuring the nation's sovereign debt against default using credit default swaps. Okay, blah, blah, blah. And then the question at the end here is, do you think Bitcoin is becoming the go-to asset for citizens living in nations marred by economic difficulties? And I would say yes, because I mean, if you just even look at countries like Venezuela, I mean, that country is that was civil unrest, economic catastrophe, and people started turning to Bitcoin, and it's just amazing how as many countries start to go through these economic uncertainty and and the crash that's looming as well. People are turning, more and more people are turning to Bitcoin. So having said that, guys, let me get into my presentation and talk to you about why it's important for you and your family and your friends to start taking Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies very, very seriously, okay? Because something big is about to happen. I'm going to say that again, all right? And tag your friends and your family. If there's someone that you care about, your dad, your mom, your uncle, your aunt, your cousins, your brothers, your sisters, tag them so they can jump onto this and listen to what is not being said by me, but being said by experts, okay? I am part of many masterminds, okay? I don't shout from the rooftops like other people, but I'm part of many masterminds on channels such as Discord, on Telegram, on Slack, okay? I'm part of investor groups, mastermind investor groups. It's just by pure luck and pure, I don't know, grace maybe that I've been added to these groups, and I've been able to find these mastermind groups where this information is not being shared with thousands of people, but with a handful of people. So let me just change my sharing here and just share this information with you guys. Let me just pull this up here. Just give me a second. I just want to get it up. So I put together a couple slides that are going to talk us through what is going to happen in the next couple of weeks or maybe month or so. But the time to start getting ready, and as a matter of urgency, I mean, this is not the time to delay and procrastinate. This is the time of taking action. Okay, I heard someone say, or was it, I think it was Napoleon Hill that wrote, action is the highest form of intelligence, okay? So we need to start taking action and not just listening and reading, but actually start taking action with regard to what's going on right now, okay? So I'm trying to get this slide pulled up here, guys. Just bear with me. I won't be long, just trying to get it pulled up here. I've created a PDF as well, just in case I have trouble getting this up here, which I am having trouble at the moment. Okay, so let me try the PDF version of this slide. These slides that I put together. Okay, seems like I'm having trouble with the PDF as well. Just give me a second there, it won't be long. Let me do this. Let me just do this. Sorry, I won't be long, guys. Do apologize. So let me do this. There we go. And this, and then like this. All right, got it up. All right, there we go. Okay, so let me know if you guys can see my screen. You should be able to see the title over there. So the title of my slideshow today is "The Herd is Coming," and this will be the second boom. And as I said to you guys, I'm part of confidential groups, network insiders, mastermind groups, and guys are some of the most reputable names in the crypto space. I've just come from Acapulco a month ago, where some amazing information. I'm still going through the notes that I made. It was a powerful, amazing conference. Some of the biggest names, biggest people in crypto. You won't hear about them in the mainstream media. You won't hear about them on the 7 o'clock news in South Africa, because the news is not interested in that. They are only interested in spreading fear, any type of negativity in the crypto space that they can get their get their hands on, okay, and create hype and create all kinds of ratings for themselves. They're not interested in helping you. They're not interested in helping South African nation as a whole. They have their own interests, and your interests are definitely not part of their, they're not concerned or care about your interest whatsoever. And that's why I say to you, if you use the mainstream media, you're going to lose out on the biggest boom that the world has ever seen, all right? If you thought that 2017 was big, well, this is going to be far bigger. If you thought December, when Bitcoin rallied up to almost $20,000, if you thought that was big, this is going to be far bigger, because even with that rally, we didn't hit $1 trillion. We almost hit $1 trillion, but even $1 trillion is small fry. Okay, it's a small percentage of what's actually of the stock markets and the gold and everything else, where all the big money is. Right, we're still very small fish in a big pond. And so we didn't even hit $1 trillion. So if you thought $20,000 was big, you're mistaken. We're going far beyond that. We're going far beyond that, people. We need to jump on this bus, because even if you missed 2011, you missed 2010 when Bitcoin was just about emerging, don't worry about it, because right now we're about to see bigger than that. People always ask me, is it too late? Is it too late? They see Bitcoin at $8,000, they see Bitcoin at $10,000. Let me tell you, you are far from too late, okay? In fact, it's too soon, all right? In fact, this is the right time to actually get in now, because you're going to be able to ride the biggest wave that we've ever seen in this crypto space we've ever seen in our generation. Okay, so this is the herd that's coming, and the herd would mean Mike Novogratz, he coined this phrase in November sometime last year. Mike Novogratz, one of the biggest names in Wall Street. And again, these are the guys you should be getting your news from these people. Okay, these are the guys that you should be watching, and no one else. All right. So the second boom is coming, and let me just get back to my slide here. I was in Acapulco, and a lot of people were talking about Puerto Rico. All the billion-dollar crypto owners are going down to Puerto Rico. They're getting ready. They're preparing themselves. It's a tax haven. You don't pay capital gains tax. If you are a big holder of Bitcoin, and you want to protect your crypto, and if you are also want to get ready for this big boom that's about to happen, then definitely get yourself to Puerto Rico and see how you can set yourself up there, so that you can benefit tax-free from this next crypto boom that's coming. Okay, so all these guys are gathering down in San Juan. Massive talk about San Juan. The government is cooperating with everybody, and all of the guys are down there, and they are getting ready for what's about to happen in the next, and we don't know exactly when, but it could be the next week, could be the next couple of weeks, it could be the next few months, running up to May consensus, okay, which is the big, massive conference where all the suits are going to be. Now, you've got to be at like an Acapulco, and so I made a decision myself personally that I'm going to make it as much as I can financially, travel to all of these big blockchain conferences. I mean, at Acapulco, I met Roger Ver, Jeff Berwick, and other big names in Big Swear, Mike Maloney, G. Edward Griffin, and all of these big names in crypto, in gold, in alternative currencies. And these are the conferences where you're going to find this critical information to be able to make important financial decisions. Please follow the people that go to these conferences and are happy to relay the relay the information back to you or back to their network of insiders. A lot of these guys that do attend these conferences where they get this important information. Remember, it costs us money, right? It costs me money to get onto a plane, get to the conference, pay for the hotel, pay for the conference. I mean, it costs at least 20, 30, 40, up to 50,000 Rand and more just to get to that conference, right? And so a lot of these guys, they form these groups, and you pay to be a part of these mastermind groups, and it's a lot less money than actually the amount of money that gets spent traveling to these conferences, and so it's worth it, right? So imagine if you're paying 1,000 Rand to get into these mastermind groups, or 5,000 Rand, and you're still getting this quality information, this filtered, sifted information. That's a lot better than, you know, spending 50,000 Rand, you know, going to these conferences, getting the information, and you know, making all the you know, connecting with and networking with all of these people that are in the know, because it's this information, it's this early bird information that sets you apart from the crowd, okay, from the masses, and from the people that are getting secondhand information, and also from people that are getting the wrong information from the mainstream media, okay. So currently I have all groups that I run on Telegram, and my groups are still free, and I'm happy to share this information for free. So if you want to join any of my groups, you're welcome to do that. Okay, so here's the big news, guys. Institutional money is going to enter, is getting geared up and ready to enter the cryptocurrency market, and that's going to push this market into the trillions. Okay, right now it's sitting on about, I think, under $400 billion. All right, which is still a massive move from last year. This time it was 20 billion, somewhere around there. It was get past that. So you see, this is the kind of news you're not going to find in the local newspapers in South Africa. All right, you're not going to find this there. You're going to find all kinds of other nonsense that's not adding any value to you whatsoever, and it's causing people to argue. I mean, it's ridiculous. I look at some of the people that I have on Facebook arguing back and forth about politics, arguing back and forth about land grab, and all of this that keeps them distracted. Okay, we live in such a distracted society, and none of this adds any value to them. None of this adds any value to the future generations that they are responsible for, that we're all responsible and accountable for. And so it's just, you know, it just increases the tensions from social media to conversations at the office to conversations at the gym, and wherever you find yourself. It's just, you know, people are just having the wrong conversations that add no value to them whatsoever. That are not, these conversations are not providing any type of assistance or information to get them out of debt, or to get them into a lifestyle that they can really appreciate and really protect their wealth. Okay, so you won't find this information on local media, mainstream media, because they're not interested in helping you. They just, all they want to do is create, create sensational news so that they can stir up people against one another. It's disgusting, to be quite honest with you. And I hate it. I hate the mainstream media with a passion. I've got no time for them. I don't bother or waste my time reading any of the nonsense, because I've got better things to do with my time. And those better things include creating a great future for myself, protecting myself, protecting my family, building a hedge of protection of wealth. And so I'm very careful what I read and what I allow myself, or what I allow to go into my mind and form part of my thoughts, and which then directly impact my actions. And so it's our actions at the end of the day that determine where we're going to be tomorrow and in the near future. So this, there was an announcement made. So this is not the announcement. There's an announcement made a couple of weeks ago. I remember posting it on my Facebook page that Goldman Sachs purchased Poloniex for $405 million. For $405 million, guys. That is not small money, all right? Now, why would Goldman Sachs, right? Goldman Sachs, all right, one of the most respected institutions, financial institutions in the world, okay, one of the biggest, one of the most reputable in the world. Why would they go and buy an exchange that trades cryptocurrencies, all right? I've been trading Poloniex for a long time. Why would they do that, right? Because they've got because this document has just been leaked. Nobody knows if it's official as yet, but I mean, the only way to get official documents is through, through these alternative sources of information, okay? Like I said, you're not going to find this information in the newspaper. They're not interested because it's not sensational enough for them, and they're not interested in helping you get wealthy. So this document was then leaked not too long after Goldman Sachs purchased one of the biggest crypto exchanges in the world, Poloniex, okay? And in this document, they are seeking approval from the SEC, which is the biggest, it's the Security Exchange Commission. It's a very powerful organization in America, and you've got to be regulated. Institutions are regulated by this organization, and they are seeking to be the first regulated crypto exchange. Okay, and if you read the fine print here, the standalone exchange business. So they purchased this exchange via a company called, or an organization or holding company called Circle. And you can read some of the fine print here. It says Circle will continue to operate Poloniex as a standalone business line within a new Circle holding company subsidiary, but will leverage common Circle capabilities across technology, operation risk, compliance, regulatory and global marketing. Our pro forma operating plan anticipates adding 80 to 100 personnel to this business line. SEC approach. Circle has briefed the SEC on the transaction and indicated that upon closing, that we will begin the process of registering the new entity with the SEC and FINRA as a broker-dealer and in turn as a licensed ATS, electronic trading marketplace. Licensed, okay? Emphasis on license. The SEC was very favorable. Let me say that again. The SEC was very favorable. Let me say that again. The SEC was very favorable on this approach and indicated they would not pursue any enforcement action for prior activity. All right, so they're not going to penalize Poloniex for anything they've done before this. They said that we are the first and only company in the space to approach them and were very progressive on working closely with us. US's first regulated crypto exchange. By becoming regulated crypto exchange, it will enable Circle to list and provide a platform for all forms of emerging crypto tokens. So not only of Bitcoin, but for all forms of emerging crypto tokens, including tokens that would be deemed securities. We believe the market for security-like tokens will continue to expand, creating demand for this market infrastructure. So what's happening here, guys? These guys are getting ready. This document is telling me that these guys are getting ready for institutional money. And when institutions start to see that they can start investing in cryptocurrencies, not only Bitcoin, and that their money is going to be safe, all right? Nobody's going to run off with their billions of dollars or their trillions of dollars. It's going to start pouring in here. That is a big sign. That's a huge sign, all right? And you need to start getting in, and you need to start preparing. And you need to start watching what these big guys are doing, and not your neighbor, okay? Not your doctor, not your dentist, not your chiropractor, okay? They got no idea what's going on, all right? So these guys are gearing up, right? And you need to start getting ready, right? I spoke about this already. I'm not going to speak about it again. Now, this is what your neighbor, this is what your doctor, your dentist, the mainstream media, this is what they focus on, okay? They focus on Bitcoin crashes. No, it's not a crash, guys. It's business. We've seen this movie before. Let me show you how many times we've seen the movie. We've seen this movie in June when Bitcoin crashed in quote 94%. Okay, it went from $32 to $2 in November 2011. That was the first movie. Then we saw Bitcoin crash part 2, by 36%. June 2012 from $7 to $4. Then we saw part, okay. 79% crash, from $266 it crashed down to $54. Then we saw first blood, second blood, third blood, fourth blood, 87% went down from $1,166 to $170. I'm sure people were getting ready to hang themselves, right? Like people are, are getting ready to jump off cliffs right now. Because they invested in December, and of course they've lost a half or 70% of their portfolio, all right, in Bitcoin. And then in Feb we saw the movie again, 49%, and then in September we saw 40% from 5,000 down to 200. I mean, as early as last year's September, guys, we saw a crash from 5,000 to 2,972, and of course the most recent crash from 2018. In 2018 from $90,000 to $8,500, okay? People getting divorced, what are you getting divorced for, guys? This is nothing. We've seen this movie before, All right, all you got to do is hold onto your Bitcoin and watch it skyrocket in the next couple of weeks or 1 or 2 months max. All right, so we've seen the movie 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, at least 7 times. All right, so 7th time we've seen this movie. How many times you want to see this movie? Okay, if you guys are new to this, understand that this is nothing new. All right, we've seen this many times before. So tag your friends and your family and tell them to come watch this movie. It's a great movie. We love this movie because at the end of the day, we come out on the other side richer than we've ever been. All right, so just hang on, okay? So all the banks that have been sitting on the sidelines are getting ready to jump into crypto too. All of these banks, guys, Fidelity, Nasdaq, Goldman Sachs, Wall Street, Citigroup, JP Morgan, Bank of America, okay? Recently, the mainstream media, threw some fun out into the market as they normally do. That's what they're famous for. They love doing that. Said that Bank of America was closing down all accounts that were involved in crypto. Well, let me just tell you something. Bank of America is getting ready to do some major things, all right? We're going to see all of these accounts reopening, all right? We're going to see Visa cards coming out again, all right? So just hang in there. I mean, this is going to end up the best story you've ever heard. All right, people advising others to get out of crypto, and I'm saying to you, you got to hang in there. In fact, you got to get yourself more involved. You got to get yourself more committed because the herd is coming. Big institutional money is coming. Okay, so more highlights. Fidelity partnered with Coinbase. Coinbase is one of the biggest exchange in America, crypto exchange, Bitcoin and Ethereum. And they've started a crypto mining operation, okay, that is worth $2.2 trillion. The Fidelity CEO says she loves crypto. Bank of America, the second largest bank in the USA, just won a patent for a cryptocurrency exchange. Let me say that again. Bank of America, the second largest bank in the USA, just won a patent for cryptocurrency exchange. Citigroup has told their investors that they are exploring cryptocurrencies and they will be adding it to as an available asset for investors to add to their portfolios. The Nasdaq, second largest stock market in the world, is planning on launching Bitcoin futures as early as April 2018. And you know exactly what happened when the Bitcoin futures was added for the first time in December. It was the CME and the CMOE, I think, that launched. The first one launched, I think it was just before mid-December, and the CME launched a week after that, all right? And as they launched, and as this news came out, the price of Bitcoin started soaring, and cryptocurrencies, the altcoins started following this price, and we saw massive movement of the market and the capitalization of cryptocurrencies. So guys, I'm saying to you again, same now, Mike Novogratz that I mentioned earlier on, saying that we're going to see Bitcoin hit the $40,000 range, all right? And if we just use December as an example, then we can see that this movement is probably going to start sometime this month, end of this month, and April. So get ready. That's what I'm trying to say. Bloomberg reported not so long ago that $1 trillion asset management company, Wallington Management, is getting into crypto and adding it to investor portfolios. Follow the big money. Don't follow your dentist. Don't follow your doctor. Stop following your neighbor. Follow the big money, people. Here's the big money. NASDAQ. It's a $6.8 trillion market cap here with NASDAQ, the second largest SM in the world. Guys, do you have any concept what $1 trillion is? All right. It's huge money. We're not talking about billions or millions. We're not talking 100 million or 100 billion. We're talking trillions of dollars, okay? That's thousands and thousands of billions of dollars. And these people are getting money, these institutions are getting ready to pour trillions, okay, into crypto. So imagine what could happen when all these institutions pile in, guys. So here's Bitcoin over here. Everybody's worried about Bitcoin, $8,000, hovering around $7,000, $9,000. Well, we're going to see Bitcoin do this very, very soon. And there's no time to waste because it can happen tomorrow. It can happen next week. And when Bitcoin starts to do this, you don't want to be getting in over here, people, because that's the same mistake that people made in December. They waited and waited, and then when the media obviously jumped into that sensational, because they're all about sensation, and when they started, you never saw the media talking about Bitcoin when it's down here that people should invest, right? All they're doing is spreading FUD. And then when Bitcoin starts to do this, then they start telling people, but that's the wrong time to get in, okay? When Bitcoin starts to do this, you're too late. You're too late. You've missed the bus. You've missed the biggest gains that you could ever make. We're talking 1,000, 2,000, 5,000, 10,000, ridiculous percentage. I mean, this is 100x, 200, 500x, 1,000x gains over here, people. All right, when this starts to happen, you don't want to be getting in over here. You want to get in over there. And right now we are here. All right, and this is where you need to get in. That's what I'm trying to say to you. So more things to consider. Government, states, and countries are accepting and looking upon crypto favorably. All right, we just read that article about South Africa and what people do when there's economic uncertainty. Okay, and here's examples of about what happened in Venezuela, right? And as that unfolded, people were rushing into Bitcoin. All right, Russia, Delaware, and other states in the USA are looking at accepting Bitcoin. Australia, Switzerland, Japan, and many others will follow. Okay, so get in now. If you get in now, you will make more money in 6 months than you've made in the last 10 or 20 years. Get in now before the big money piles in. Now is the time. This perceived crash is a blessing in disguise. Bitcoin and crypto is currently on sale. This is the biggest sale ever. Get in now while it's still on sale. Now is the time to buy. Mining is low risk, okay? And you should be mining with a company that mines at scale and at low cost electricity. I'm going to get into that in the next few minutes, and then I'm going to close off. So follow the big money. You have to follow the big money to make money. Never follow scared money. You know, your neighbor, your cousin, brother, your doctor, your dentist's opinion on crypto. Follow the smart money. I just bunch and a whole list of big smart money that's getting ready, gearing up to get, they're building the infrastructure, okay? They're building the legal framework, and you need to get in before they roll it out. So while they're planning, while they're getting all the approval, all the licensing, you should be piling up on crypto. You should be piling up on altcoins, because once they roll this out, these currencies are going to explode, and it's too late for you to wake up. If you don't wake up now, it's going to be too late. Let me tell you that. Do not follow mainstream media. They are the master deceiver of the masses and skilled at spreading fear, uncertainty, and doubt. Get your face, get your head, get your eyes, get your ears out of the mainstream media. Get it out for good, all right? Have a network of insiders. People know what is going on and who can help you make the right moves on time. Timing is everything. And I'm saying to you this, I'm giving you this information for free. This is one of the best information. This is insider information I'm giving away to you absolutely free. Now the ball is in your court. You've got to make a move now. You've got to take action. My responsibility is done. I've done my part. I've shared information with you. Now it's your move. Okay. What you do after this, it's all on you. Okay. So now is the time, guys. Now the time. So again, this has been compiled by me. If you want a copy of this presentation, I just put it together very fast. You know, I was very excited about the information I got today, well, last night, and I've got a bunch of channels that I run where I share vital information, where I share information on how to earn money, how to get residual income, how to set yourself financially free. Okay. So all that information is in my group, so get hold of me and I will get you added to my network of insiders and all these groups that I run to help people become financially free and to get back their time freedom, because we can get all this money back, guys. Money, it flows, money is there. It's not some type of scarce or scarce, whichever way you want to pronounce it. It's not some kind of a scarce or scarce resource. There's plenty of money out there, especially now with crypto. There's plenty of opportunities, but your time you can never get back. Unless they invent a time machine, which will be awesome, you can never get your time back. But you can get that 1,000 Rand back. You can get that million Rand back. You can even get that 10 million Rand back. You can get it back if you've got the skills and the knowledge and the right people surrounding you. You can get that easy. But your time, you can't get back. So redeem your time and start making the right moves. Get into the space. So guys, for you guys that want to get into the space, you want to get in safely, we have big investors, people, big money that have put their money into mining, okay? And we are one of the mines that mine at scale. And so you can get started with us for as little as, let me just go back to that screen quickly. You can get started with us. Let me just make sure it is sharing here. So I hope it is sharing there on your side. Let me just make sure that it's open it again. So you can get started for as little as $25, okay, guys, which I don't recommend because it's very small, but if that's all you got, then go ahead, because the main thing to do is to get started, all right? And but if you have got substantial amounts of money and you want to get involved in the space low risk, then go for the bigger contracts. Go for the ones that are, we've got the contracts that start from $500 up to $10,000. So we have 500, 1,000, 2,000, 2,000, 5,000, and then $10,000. And you can buy multiples of these contracts. And again, it's the safest way to go. It's the low risk way to go. You own the golden goose that lays the golden egg. So no matter what happens to the price of Bitcoin, you are still laying those eggs. And on top of that, it's a great business, great residual income. A lot of the guys leave a lot of money on the table, right? Because a lot of people got involved in December. They sold out too early. They sold out at a loss. And they basically now left huge amounts of money on the table, all right? Because they sold too soon, or they've lost money, all right? So when you sell too soon as well, you leave money on the table. And if you sell too soon and you sell at less than what you bought because you panic and you listen to the wrong people and you listen to mainstream media, then you've lost a lot of money, right? And people are making all the wrong decisions because they just simply ignorant. We understand what's going on, right? We've seen this movie many, many times before, and you're just waiting patiently. But when you're a miner, you don't have to wait, right? I mean, if you just bought Bitcoin and you've just bought like coins like Stellar and other coins, then you are in a negative right now, depending on when you bought. So you just got to wait it out. So there's no cash flow coming into your life. So you either got to go back to your job, or you've got to stay in your job and wait a bit longer to be able to get back your time freedom, or to leave that job, or to get out of that business. That's so the thing is, I'm not trying to be biased here. I know there's a lot of people that are biased and they want to tell people that's the only way to make money is in mining. I'm not going to tell you that, because that's not true. What I am saying is you're going to look at the advantages and disadvantages. With mining, you've always got that cash flow, all right? Which is what you want, right? So you want to be able to spread your risk everywhere. You want to be able to diversify. So yes, you want to buy, you want to get some Bitcoin, hold on to it. But the thing is, there's no cash flow in that. That's what you got to understand. There's no cash flow, all right? So you get the cash flow when you've got a mining contract that's generating these Bitcoin and these alt currencies for you on a daily basis. But then again, do you want to sell your Bitcoin to get cash flow, right? Well, then if you don't, and you want to be even wiser and more, you want to hold on to your Bitcoin, then you run this as a business like I do. And then you've got cash flow in the form of dollars. And then you're happy to spend your dollars on whatever, on groceries, on gas, on living expenses, on that holiday, on traveling, like I'm traveling right now. And then you keep your Bitcoin and you hold on to the Bitcoin that you mine. All right, so I have this dollars to spend on other things, and to spread your wealth and to increase your investments and still to have all of the cash flow. So then you go one step further and you run this as a business, right? And we teach you how to do that as well. Okay, so mining is low risk as long as you are mining with a company that can mine at scale. All right, so a company that has negotiating power with manufacturers such as Bitmain, and they have access to very, very, very cheap electricity, right? Like this company, Galaxy. Now, if you're trying to mine on your own, you are making a very big mistake. And I think there's a lot of people that want to be smart and clever, and I just walk away from those people, right? Because they're just way too clever for me. All right. If you are trying to mine on your own, or if you're trying to mine with some, I'm not saying this condescendingly, some guy that thinks is smarter than people have been investors, people have been strategists all their lives, then you're making a big mistake, right? If you're not mining, if you are mining with a small group of people, or you're mining on your own, you're never going to be able to mine at scale. Okay, you're never going to be able to get that cheap electricity. You're never going to have the negotiating power that these big companies have, right? They have the negotiating power. They can mine at scale. They have a growth strategy where their mining capacity is growing by a minimum of 35% per day. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that? That your asset, your revenue is growing at 35% minimum per day, right? People are falling over their feet when they hear that. Investors, that's why so many, I just mentioned in my slideshow that Fidelity has started a mining operation worth 2.2 trillion. Why on earth do you think they've done that? Because returns are crazy, all right? The returns on mining are absolutely insane, all right? So but the thing is, you've got to mine at scale, and you've got to have growth strategy. So if you're thinking about doing this on your own, you're making a big mistake. You're making a massive mistake, all right? And you need to get into the right circles so that you can start thinking the right way and understanding how this big money thinks, and copy their thinking, copy what the big money is doing, duplicate everything they do. It's very easy. When it comes to making money, copy the best, copy the big money. Never copy the dentist. Never copy your doctor. Never. They don't listen, man. They're not. Let them stick to what they do. Let them stick to dentistry. Right? Do not take financial advice from these type of people. You're making a big mistake. Okay. So you can mine at scale. You got access to the cheapest electricity, and you are riding on the back of giants. All right. So one way to get involved, as I said, is start mining this. It's low risk. It's a low risk entry. You've got constant cash flow, whereas people that just buy Bitcoin, they don't know when they're going to get that cash flow, because especially at this point, at these bear markets, the only thing you can do is hold. And when you're holding for 2-3 months, it gets a bit tough, because you don't have any cash flow, and then you either forced to sell at a loss because you need that money, right? Or else you got to go find another job or find other ways to get that extra money into your life, all right? And then of course you can't even upgrade your lifestyle or travel or go to that conference, because you just don't have the extra disposable income. Whereas with mining, you've got that constant cash flow coming in. But then again, I mean, Chandler, I think it's Chandler Lowe or one of these big mining guys in Asia, says he mines Bitcoin, but he also and this guy mines on a huge scale, right? He's one of the original miners of Bitcoin. And but he also mines other altcoins. And he once said, he's famous for saying that when he mines altcoins, he sells his altcoins, and that's his cash flow. But he never ever sells Bitcoin. You must imagine that this guy is mining ridiculous amounts of Bitcoin per day. He can afford to sell 1 or 2 or a fraction of his Bitcoin per day. But he says he never sells his Bitcoin. And he's one of the guys that predicted that Bitcoin is going to $1 million. But he says he mines altcoins and he sells altcoins, but never the Bitcoin. So you see what I'm saying, guys, is that there's a lot of people that are not selling Bitcoin there, and these guys have got huge amounts of money. So if you want to mine and you don't want to sell your Bitcoin because you need cash flow, then my advice is to join the business. Because with the business, you can sell mining contracts, you can build a team of distributors, and you can generate cash flow in the form of dollars. And just like me, I don't mind spending my dollars, right? I'd rather spend my dollars than spend my Bitcoin and hold on to that Bitcoin and watch it as it grows to $1 million and beyond. So I hope that was informative for you guys. If you have any questions, feel free to post in the comment section. and get in. As I said to you guys, get in now. Now is the time to get in. The herd is coming. The institutional money is coming, and if you don't get involved now, you only have yourself to blame. If you missed the first boom, no worries. But if and it wasn't, people missed the first boom, all right? But if you missed the second boom, then you only have yourself to blame. If you missed the second boom, okay, there's nobody else that's to blame here. So get involved, get your family and friends involved, get into Bitcoin before the institutional money comes in, because once these guys start piling in, once their infrastructure is ready, once they've got their licensing, once they've got their legal framework in place, trillions are coming, people. And I'm not talking about next year or in 5 years' time. I'm talking about nobody knows exactly when, the exact date or time, but it could be next week, it could be in 2 weeks from now, it could be a month, right? But these guys are not wasting any time, right? They missed out on the first boom. They are orchestrating the next boom. They are orchestrating the next boom, okay? And you have got to get in now. So get hold of me. There are my details on the screen. Craig Giswin, Crypto Mullahs, Facebook.com, Best Bitcoins. There's my WhatsApp number. Get hold of me. Get going. Join my network of insights. Join my groups and get the information and act on it, because action is the highest form of intelligence, all right? No, it's no good getting this information from me and listening to me and getting goosebumps and you're not taking any action. You've got to act on what is being presented to you. So having said that, guys, I'm going to leave you. I'm still in Cancun. I'm off to the beach. Enjoy some of the sunny weather and the blue turquoise waters, or the turquoise waters. I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening, and I'm going to play out with one of my favorite jazz artists, Mr. Stan Getz. Enjoy, and I'm going to leave the screen on for a while so you guys can take on the details, write down the details. I'll catch you on my next webinar. Cheers for now. Ciao.